Hello, and welcome to the first of a series of technical webinars that we are presenting at Alcatel-Lucent Enterprise for our more technically adept audience, including customers, prospective customers, business partners, anybody who's on the line. We're always glad you're here. My name's Deanne Corcoran, and I work on the Network Business Enablement team, and I am your webinar host for today. Thanks for joining us. We love that you're taking some time to learn more about ALE, and especially this topic. Your feedback and questions are very valuable to us, so please don't hesitate to offer them. Before we get started, a couple housekeeping items. Of course, the call today is being recorded. If you have any objections, you can disconnect. All lines are muted during the presentation. After the presentation, we take questions from the attendees. You may post a written question at any time during the webinar via the questions tab, and you're encouraged to do so in the webinar panel, and those questions will be addressed first during the Q&A period. The presentation today is being shared live for those of you who have connected online. You can also download a copy of the presentation from the handout section in the control panel. After the live webinar today, we send out a follow-up email from GoToWebinar that will have the recording of today's webinar embedded within it. And please don't hesitate to respond to the email if you'd like more info. Again, the topic for today's call is ALE and our third-party indoor geolocalization that we do. Our speaker today is Enrique Amaro, who's the Senior Solution Architect at Alcatel-Lucent Enterprise. Enrique, go ahead and begin.
Hello, good morning, and thank you, Dean, for your introduction, and welcome to all to this technical webinar about third party and how ALE can play with them. Of course, we have our solution, our location-based service solution, and our access tracking, all based on Bluetooth. But here is how we are playing with a third party, with the standards that we use on our Stellar Wireless LAN, and how we can handle and reach our solutions on the customers. Okay, so with the introduction, I will start just to talk about our vertical applications in access tracking. We'll talk more about access tracking, and after we'll introduce the part of site preparation, what we need to take in care when deploy gateways or deploy the access points, because today we'll talk more about Wi-Fi technology, and what we can do with the Hekahau, Aristaflow now, and with Stanley, more for healthcare solution access tracking, and third-party integration with other solutions that we have, more for malls, smart cities, etc., and marketing. So we have lots of solutions that we have been tested and deployed. So let's see what we have, and start with vertical applications. Just a reminder about where we can find and apply access tracking education. We can find and use it in laboratories with some equipments, the electronic equipments, just to know where are these equipments in which laboratory. We can have some batch, some text for format of batch, just to know where is the security people or some students that can make, if they stay on the local or in the classroom, we can measure the attendance that they have in each class. So we have lots of application on education, but in access tracking is more for the projectors, for the electronic equipments, etc., oscilloscopes, etc., some high value equipments that we need to know where they are. Okay, we have industry and the transportation, and here is more for staff and security and operation people to know where they are. They can use batch, and we know where if they are far or not. It's more for people tracking. Of course, we can have some in maintenance, some equipments to know where are some tools, but we have also the possibility to have accelerometers on the tags that can give us an alarm when man down alerting with the operators that are working and for some accidents. So we have here some situations to use. And in factories we have a lot. So you can lifters, etc. In the other equipments we can use it, the access tracking. Hospitality. We can use it in the staff to localize the staff if they are near or far from a room that need to be clean. We can have bracelets on the kids, so the fathers will know where they are, or if they go out from a zone, an alarm will be sent for a smartphone or for somewhere because they crossed that barrier. So we have some applications where access tracking can be used. It can interoperate with other equipments like and hygiene. So we send an alarm every time you enter in a room. You hygiene your hands. So an alarm sent to the tag sent to the cloud or to the solution that have the access tracking and correlate and know and increase the quality and of the work of these hotels. Malls and public areas here is more for people that visit these areas. Of course, you can have some tags and bracelets in kids or people to know where they are, if they are if you are visiting a museum or some places, historical places, etc. But here we use more Wi-Fi because the smartphones with the Wi-Fi enabled can be localized and can be trigger some alarms in the solutions. What areas they are, even if they are not connected to the Wi-Fi SSID there, they will be localized, so we can give us some security and know where they stay more time, and formatting is good too. So we're going to see it on the final with third-party solution. Okay. In healthcare is where we can get the best revenue. We can know where is a doctor or a nurse with a tag, with a patch tag. They can have some buttons to send alarms if they have some problems, security problems too. The equipments, the healthcare equipments can have a tag, and we know where they are, the nearest one, like wheelchairs. So will be very helpful because we're going to save a lot of time, and time in hospitals is money and is life too. And we have a lot of solutions that we can apply, like hygiene too here, just to make it clean, everything from bacteria, etc. So we have a lots of users of access tracking, and we are growing the solution in the world of access tracking more and more. Are what they are asking, the customers are asking to save time and money, and time in terms of localized equipments, time in operations, save money in trying to avoid robbery, finding more quickly the equipments, etc. So for that, we need a site preparation. We use our wireless LAN Stellar access points, our solution that don't need any central controller, with all the intelligence that comes from wave 1 in the 1101 to wave 2, and we have Wi-Fi 6 and Wi-Fi 5 and 6 now offer with high power radios, with 3 radios, high performance for indoor and outdoor. Everyone are able to work with the solution that we're going to see in Wi-Fi, and some ones will work too in Bluetooth for the solutions that use Bluetooth. So we can construct all the solution based on the OmniAccess Stellar, and we need to have need to be careful when we start to install this installation, because it's different give Wi-Fi to people from working access tracking solution well. Okay, it's different, the installation, the number of the access points, etc. But we need to know what is the preparation for the site when we want not only give Wi-Fi but make a good accuracy with access tracking. When we talk about Wi-Fi, normally we can have accuracies of 7, 10 meters is the best that we can, because we need to careful with the local that we install the access points. If we have everything, the distance of the access points, etc., we're going to see some rules that we have, and of course the interferences. So based on the vertical, you can have more or less interferences to devices or cordless phones. So microwaves, we have a lot of equipments can influence it. So the number of the access points to make the correlation and make the access tracking work will increase if we have these kind of situations that don't help in the installation. Okay. We need to be careful with the received signal strength indicator, and for that we need to understand and see if the tag that is on the accept or in the batch of the people, the person that we want to localize, have a good signal. So basically, if you have in the yellow line, it's okay, but it's better to be here in the green, because normally you want to have a good quality, and not only for the access tracking, but to transmit Wi-Fi data and video, etc. So normally these solutions works for access tracking, but also to give Wi-Fi connection for the smartphones, tablets, laptops, etc. And we have the tools on our OmniVista or directly on access points to measure and see if the correct signal is good. So if we are covering well all the area for these solutions for video, voice, and access tracking. So we have all the capacity to construct, make a site survey, and construct a good deployment to make working any third-party solution. So if you remember, we need always to have this kind of overlapping of the cells of the access point. Here, 10% of overlapping normally is only to give Wi-Fi and data, okay, connection, not video, not voice, because if you want to give it, you need to remember that people are walking and roaming and over, and for that we need to have at least 20%. You can have a little bit more and more access points if you want to cover a black area, if access point falls and the other ones increase the cell. So you need to understand when you want some kind of services, voice, video, access tracking, roaming, cover black holes, if some access point falls. So you need to prepare the site before to go and install the access points. And there is some rules. If you want to give only Wi-Fi access, normally in the big areas you deploy the access point like this. Even if the device, the laptop or the tablet is here, it's okay, because you're gonna connect here or here with a good signal. In the corridors, you have normally in the middle of the corridors, if it's a long corridor like in hospital, you can have always signal, and you can walk and with your IP phone by wireless, or continue to see the video. The roaming is okay if the distance is okay, and the signal too. But when you go to access tracking, is a little bit different. It's not only the position, but the number. Here you need to realize that the device always need to be between 4 access points, at least 3 to make the triangulation. So it's not only to place the access points in the middle of the area, but in the corners, in the walls, to you have that capacity. And in corridors here, this is the trick to make it always inside of 3. Okay, so this is the way to deploy the access points. So you need to be careful on this. The number and the place will give you the best accuracy in the solution, okay? And at least to try to go to 7 meters, 8 meters with Wi-Fi solutions that we find here on the market. Bluetooth is better because you can reach 3 meters of accuracy, but in Wi-Fi you need to be very careful where you place the access points and the interferences too. So normally this is the rule. You have the 4 quadrants and the access points. At least the device see 4, but less than the 20 meters of the tree and of each quadrant. Normally you need to sync and design in the map of the floor and see the places to the distance and the 4 quadrants for a device in any place that you want to make the access tracking work. You do this rule, okay? This is the difference when you grow in the solution of Wi-Fi and of course for access tracking too. If you want to send only data in Wi-Fi, normally the number of access points can be 19. It is just indication, and 122 square meters. But if you want fault tolerance, if you want that the adjacent access points increase the cells if one falls and make a black hole, so we need to increase the number of access points. The fault tolerance is for that, and we need one access point for 100 square meters, more or less. If you have voice and video, of course, you need to overlap the cells of the access points, not only 10%, but at least 20%, and you're gonna have more access points and for fault tolerance too. And in access tracking, because you need to install access points in the corners, near the walls of the floor, etc., you're gonna have more access points, okay? And remember that is the only way to the access tracking have a good accuracy and make the work that was designed. Remember, in Wi-Fi we have some difficulties, and we need to do that. In Bluetooth is different because there are some small equipments that don't need to work to send the signals in Bluetooth, that don't need to be on the access points, and will be very cheaper for that. And if you want, we'll have other webinars, but if you want, in the final of our presentation, we have the links to our solutions. You're going to see how it works, and the accuracy of 5 meters, 3 meters easily if we make a good deploy, okay? Let's start with the first solution. I work on this solution in Brazil with Recao, and they have Recao was bought by Aristoflow, is now Aristoflow. So they have 2 protocols, Geolocalization protocol, and this one, what they do is make the intelligence on the tags. These are tags, bracelets, badge, tags for devices, and here all the is a mini computer. All the calculations are made here. So these tags are seeing like 3 access points and measure the signal for the 3 access points and make the calculation and know where they are and send it to the engine that will calculate and position the tag on the map on the application. So for that, you need that access points are not in automatic mode, so they need to, the power need to be statically, so the cells need to be constantly, so cannot increase or decrease the cells based if an adjacent access point falls. That's the problem, but in some places work very well, and is because nothing changed on the access points, and the tags make the calculation. It is very good in Wi-Fi. Is not bad. The tags are more expensive on this solution, so is only for like healthcare or laboratory equipments in education, etc. That is better, this solution. And they have the other protocol, Arista-Blink protocol, and this one uses normal tags that only send the signal for the access points. The access points can have automatically power, and the access points will start listening that signal and send the information to the engine that will calculate. Here the tags will be cheaper and use normal Wi-Fi signals. here we know that we work with them, but we are doing the certification with them. Just today put on the page that we work on that with them with the Arista Blink protocol too. But our access points are prepared today to work with this technology and with this protocol. The other one that we have some deployments and is well known on the healthcare is the Stanley solution. Stanley uses our access points for the tags. The tags are passive too, so only send the signals. The access points, 3 or 4 access points that surround the tags will measure that signal and send to the Stanley location engine server, and after that calculation will appear on the tools, on the tablets, mobile phone, or in the map, in the web view, the localization of that tag that belongs here to a wheelchair. Okay, they have, because they use Wi-Fi, they have to add other equipments like exciters. These exciters use other technology, not Wi-Fi, ultra-wideband. So the accuracy is very good, but these equipments are very, very expensive. Normally they use in bracelets for kids or for babies to avoid kidnapping, and the accuracy is very good. And near a door or near a area, they will send an alarm or trigger some equipments to lock the doors and lock the doors of the elevators, so for that floor, to avoid any kidnapping. So is how it works, and this is a POC that we do with them in France, where we install our access points, our OmniVista that configure all the access points and measure the signals just to have a good preparation. They install on premises the location engine. There are solutions that work on premises with servers and others that work in the cloud. Okay, in premises you need to have all the database, all the equipments and servers, and can be very expensive. But okay, make more security for people to understand. Okay, this is local, but more and more the cloud solutions are being used because you have all the updates on time. You have the accuracy is better because everything is making every time you want to improve the protocol or the algorithm for localization, you can do it, and all the customers can get it on real time. Every time is available. So you have the mobile view just to have the map and see the localization of the tags. The exciter that we tested too for the children's, and they can listen not only the text that are linked to access or to people, but they can listen to the Wi-Fi signals from the laptops, tablets, etc. Even if they are not connected. And if we configure it here, we can see this laptop is in this place of the map, etc. If only configured. So you can collect and configure it by the MAC and know in the map where is the equipment, not only with the tag, but based on the Wi-Fi signal. Okay. A small battery, normally these tags is longer, like 1-2 years, sometimes 3 years, based on the users, because the tags that we use, the solution use, and as to have an accelerometer. So if we are not in moving, we are not using energy, so they can have more time of life. All our equipments are prepared for Stellar, are prepared to work with this solution, with the AristaFlow and Stanley. All we are prepared to send, so even the small one, and this is good. That's why we have that that capacity to be cheaper, to use the less expensive access points in this solution too. What we need to go is only to OmniVista and configure the IP address of the engine that will make the calculation, and the protocol, UDP, TCP ports that we use to send the signals from our access points to the engine server. that signals that we measure on access points from the distance, the localization of the tags. Okay, that's the only way. In the side of Stanley, what they need to do is to configure each access point on the tool with the IP address, name, and MAC address, and the position, so the coordinates X, Y, and Z, to know exactly in the floor where is the each access point. After that, the engine will make all the calculation based with the signals that we collect in our access point. Normally is what is the way that we work with all the solution. Here to you understand better with Stanley, but normal solutions of access tracking for healthcare, for example, that we have too. You have the mobile view where you can set everything. You can see the localization of access, set the alarms, etc. And get the reports. You can see the localization of the access. You can trigger, you can make filters just to see where are only the wheelchairs or the insulin pumps or some bracelets from some patients to localize them. So you have that capacity to configure in Access Locator and see it on the mobile phone or in the tablet or based in the web connection to the server. And of course, you can set alerts that triggers some places or some areas that you go out from that tag, from that access, or the kidnapping example too. And you can have that alerts to learn, not only to act and avoid some accident, but to learn in terms of incidents, in terms of situations, to know how many people enters on the local by day, etc., to give some statistics that will be used on reports, and with that reports and the analytics, you're gonna learn where to place normally the wheelchairs, where the best local, because the distance that the people normally ask it. So you can change the local that they are stored, or increase the area if you know that lots of people stay there. You need more area, so maybe you need to change the place where the patient will attend, or and they wait to be attended by the doctors, etc. So this is what we have normally in access tracking. You have all the capacity. They can integrate with third-party solutions for inventory, for maintenance too, for the buildings. So it's not only localized, but the access, but it can play and trigger some alarms after a while about batteries, and be linked to the equipment to make more clever the solution. So the two ones that we talk is normally to work with text. These ones that we're going to see, the last ones, are more to get information in Wi-Fi, in the smartphones that pass in areas, in airports, shopping centers, hospitality, at retail, food. So this is more to get statistics and the concentration of people. If you look here, you have in the map red, where people concentrate more, and less in yellow. You can have the statistics and learn where are the places that you can sell the marketing, the advertisement more expensive, because you know that will be more people there. In terms of security, is the same. So Eyes Labs is a solution that works with us, and what we do is configure our access points to send to the cloud the measures that we get from the devices, Wi-Fi devices, the smartphones. Normally are smartphones, even if they are not connected to the local wireless LAN, and because you can listen that Wi-Fi signals, and we gonna know the number of people, etc. If they are connected, we can be more clever and use that for marketing and push some advertisement on the smartphone, and recognize when a customer come back again to my shop, and I can give him a voucher. So this solution works with the Wi-Fi signals and the localization to understand where are the concentration of the people, but also to interact with them if they are connected, and in a portal, if they are registered, you can have and return the money based on the marketing. Okay. The other solution is Bombi Labs too, for city centers, shopping center, retails, stadiums. You have the link here, you can see it. Works in the same way. Our access points send it to the cloud, the signals, and you can get the picture of the visiting. If you're talking about the gallery, a museum, etc., you can understand better the behavior of and preferences of the customers, because you can register on the page. After that, you're going to be recognized, and there will be a person with the name to interact. And more clever are the Zug Smart, that is a Brazilian company that plays a little bit far with the intelligence and with artificial intelligence. You need to authorize that, but when you authorize that, you're gonna give you information about what you search in the places, what you like more to find on the Internet Explorer, etc., in Google. So they will collect that information and correlate, even if you will go to other place, to airport, to a mall that have this solution. You correlate, and you're gonna receive some advertisement. You're gonna receive the best options that you can have based on your profile. So it's something that you need to authorize, but can help you as a customer if you have it, and is where they are using, and a big database of information. So can make some people in panic, but if you are to give the correct authorization, you're going to have a good service, and the people the clients that have this solution work can give a better service too, and collect good information to improve the business. So this is what we are working, and we tested. Now, of course, we can test with other solutions because we are open and we can adapt. And but we work with standards. But these are only examples that you can find and in our page to work. Of course, we have our solution, location-based service, that both works, and access tracking also works with the Bluetooth. And the first one is based on a smartphone that will collect the signals from the Bluetooth, from the beacons, and from the access points. And you're going to have the possibility to have wayfinding in your smartphone on the map, and you can walk and find a place in a hospital, in a mall, etc. You can have some geolocalization. You can have some alarms based in your localization. If you pass some area, you can have advertisement, collect statistics. So you have here the link to learn a little bit more, and you have a video and our access tracking that is similar what you see on Stanley, but with the Bluetooth, and is new. Comes out this quarter, and is based, because it's based in Bluetooth, it have a good accuracy with 5 to 3 meters. If good installation are done, Bluetooth, I think, is the future. It will be the next webinar that I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And come and see our solutions and see how we can play not only with third party, but what we have to you to use. And our partners and us are here to help you to give some material and some remote demos too, because we have it to support, and you're gonna see it working, okay, with a good simulation. That's it. Is the final. So it's
Okay.
quickly.
Yes, awesome. Thank you. There are a couple questions. The first one: does the Ekahau server support on-premise installation?
Yeah, they have some solutions that can to install it. Yes, in the Brazil they have on the premises. Normally, because they work it initially to healthcare, and in healthcare in the past it was everything on the premises. But now with the RistoFlow, they have a lot of solutions for manufacturer, etc. So you have other not only on premises. Okay.
Okay. And then another question is, do we have technical documentation from some of the third parties that you mentioned that we can provide to our business partners about
So
the
we have
integration
third
with them?
party, okay, and you have the links. The best information you can get is click on the links that we have, because this is not partnerships, is something that we make the certification, but we cannot sell it. Alcatel-Lucent Enterprise and our don't sell it, but partners can have it and make the contact there. Yes, and we have some technical documents how to make it work, where to click on OmniVista, and what is the things to configure. It's simple, and in the router to pass like NATs, etc., to pass to the cloud the information from our access points. We have that documentation, but for the features, for the third-party tools, go to the pages and you have everything there. Okay.
Okay.
Anything
How is,
you
oh,
can ask
sorry.
me.
Yeah. How is the accuracy of the locationing?
Yes, the accuracy when you talk about Wi-Fi is not so good. Normally 7, 8, 10 meters, and you need to have a good position of the access points. And when you start to increase the number of access points on the floor, you need to increase the cables. You need to increase the ports of the switch. So it's too many cables, too many ports of switch, too many. Spend a lot of money on access points to collect the Wi-Fi signals, and you can have problems overlapping the cells. So normally the customers avoid to spend that money on access point. Normally they are not so cheaper, and based on that, normally 10 meters is what you get. In Bluetooth is different. Bluetooth, you can have Bluetooth on access points, but you have small equipments, beacons that can send signals, Bluetooth signals, and for that they need small batteries, very cheaper, and you can put it on the corners, on the walls of, and everything will be better and can get 5 to 3 meters. And you have other technologies for other verticals that you can go to 1 meter, 30 centimeters, like the exciters that use Stanley, but that is very, very expensive. It's for laboratories. So this is not the enterprise utilization, okay?
How will oh no, what's the mode of licensing? Sorry.
Sorry?
What is the mode of licensing? How
The
does
I think the
licensing?
license, so we don't need license for to work, okay? Our access points is only to be configured to send or not to send the signals collected, and that's it for the solutions. If is our solution, the LBS or the access tracking, our from Alcatel, we have license only based on the area, okay? For each 100 square meters, we have a license to pay a fee, 1 year, 2 years, 3, 5 years, and for utilization. Normally, the other third party use the same, or use for the number of tags, or use for the area, or use for the access points that are being used on the solution. Okay, us Alcatel-Lucent Enterprise is only based on the area. For location-based service, wayfinding, zonification, etc., or access tracking, only based on area that you want to cover.
Okay. How will the multipath fading metallic shielding effect happen due to the
Wi-Fi,
furniture?
Wi-Fi, yeah, Wi-Fi, and Wi-Fi, everything affects Wi-Fi today. Everything with metal, with the signals will not pass, and with Wave 2 is different from the Wave 1 and the old technology, the B, etc. So will be a big problem, and it's a good question, because when you deploy the access points in the place that you think are the best, when you start to rearrange your space, the furniture or the ceilings, and putting metal or wood, the signals will change and we'll have a problem on Wi-Fi. You need to go and to the places and make the calibration again, and you need to walk and spend a lot of time. And if you are talking about an hospital, it will be a problem because some areas you cannot enter, or only at night or the weekend. What we did, and I think is very clever, is the auto calibration in our solution of access tracking, and that is very good because we have the capacity to install auto calibration beacons in some places that always measure the changes and calibrate the solution. You don't need to go to the local and make the walk to calibrate that. Okay, the same on the LBS, location-based service for wayfinding. We make the calibration constantly every time the people pass with the smartphone. Of course, times and times you can make again a walk there, but is what we did is better. But in access tracking, we construct in our solution auto calibration with small beacons, Bluetooth that we put on place, and the calibration is always updated, even if you change the space or the furniture or make more metal. Okay.
Okay. Do we have a list of comparison features with our with other competitor brands?
Yeah, I have. I don't know if I can. Yeah, I have 4 or 5 slides where we compare our access tracking solution with other solutions like WLAN, Stanley, and other two. Okay, we have it.
Okay. Okay. Okay, those are the only questions I currently have on the question panel, unless anybody else would like to ask something. Otherwise, we will give you some of your time back. And there will be a super quick short survey that pops up on your screen as soon as we end. If you want to offer us any feedback, we love it. So, Enrique, thank you very much. I learned something.
Thank you. Happy to attend.
Thank you.